Member for Nedlands.
My question is to the Minister for Housing and Homelessness. I refer to the Cook Labor Government's record $2.6 billion investment in housing and homelessness services, and I ask, can the Minister outline to the House how this record investment is supporting vulnerable Western Australians across our state to secure housing?
The Minister for Housing.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank the member for Nedlands and her strong commitment to assisting the most vulnerable in Western Australia. We know that COVID has radically reshaped our housing markets and rental markets, and you have seen from our government a range of announcements, only recently with the Premier, regards to rental relief and short-term rental reform. But we are continuing to deliver our social housing agenda. And to date, despite the toughest construction market, we have delivered just over 1,700 social homes with more than 1,000 under contract or construction. Now, another part of the story which gets less attention is our work in the homelessness sector. And I'm deeply proud of the sector's leadership and work and our partnership with them to assist the most vulnerable. And I do want to go through it because we are strongly committed to the housing first approach, which at its heart is about providing people a roof, a home, but then the intensive wraparound support services to sustain their tenancy. So we've had Bulu Biddy Maya, an outstanding success launched by the previous Minister for Communities. The former Murray Street Hotel, I'm pleased to say, which we purchased, demonstrated we're thinking outside the box. Court Budger is now almost at capacity, with 24 residents who'd previously been rough sleeping now at that accommodation. And our supported landlord model. And I have to say, this supported landlord model is, again, the housing first approach. We spot purchase a unit, and then Housing Choices, as the landlord, provides the support to sustain the tenancy with housing first wraparound services available. And this goes from Perth, Peel and Bunbury regions. And I have to say, to date, we started in January, we've added 70 properties supporting 112 individuals that were sleeping rough at the beginning of the year. It is helping to change lives. And of course, we've made a $49 million commitment to extend that program and extend it at a slower pace because of some of the constraints in regional Western Australia. And yesterday, as part of our community cabinet, I was out with the Stirling outreach team and Uniting WA, where we provided a grant of around $180,000 to provide an outreach service 5 days a week in the northern suburbs. And I want to give a shout out to the leadership of the City of Stirling and the Mayor, who take a caring, kind, compassionate approach and are really endorsing this outreach program. That's in contrast, I have to say, to what we're seeing in the Safe Nights space. And I do want to put this on the record for once and for all about the Safe Nights space. First of all, we've seen a vast different number of ranges of excuses made by the city. First of all, it was about a lack of funding. Now, we believe that a capital city council, and there is an expectation that they will have a responsibility to fund that service. When they didn't decide to fund that service, the state stepped in and said, OK, you've made your decision, despite every other capital city supporting services, you've made that decision, so we will provide you the $3.14 million over 2 years. Then they said it's about the location and said it's not warranted. Can I put on the public record, it was not the state that picked the location, it was the City of Perth. And actually, I want to put this on the public record because there's not politics here. I said this, On the 14th of January 22nd, I want to personally recognise the Perth Lord Mayor for championing this proposal and the Council for supporting it. It's clearly working and has assisted some women transition into housing. That's what I said in a picture with the Mayor outside the RUA headquarters. Now they're complaining about the location. They picked it. They determined it. Thirdly, they're now saying that homelessness is not a responsibility of local government. Well, ask the City of Stirling, because I see the leadership at the City of Stirling, where they're standing up, and the Mayor said it to me yesterday, all tiers are responsible for this critical issue. We are, and we have sought to assist RUA through the Office of Homelessness to find an alternative location. I want to put that on the record. And I note this, and the media have not run this, but at a council meeting on the 28th of February 2023 this year, the council endorsed this motion that requests the CEO to investigate the feasibility of continuing this service or a version of this service at another location and present this report to elected members at an EMES in due course. So the council endorsed a motion, despite flagging of the closure, that it would report back on the feasibility of a different location. I have spoken to RUA. They have indicated to me no assistance, no advice from the City of Perth administration, and the minutes speak for themselves because there is no report back to council. We have a last-minute chance. There is a last-minute chance for the City of Perth leadership.
Let's see some leadership.
A moment in time, and put aside some of the Liberal activists like Councillor Fleeton that take photos of homeless people in the city and post them on Twitter, and I will get to that at a different stage of political discourse and debate. But the political leadership of the council have a clear choice. There is a choice about continuing a service in the 16 days and WA period to support a service where the majority of women are fleeing from domestic violence. We have stepped up. We have said we will provide the funding now. What we ask is that you provide that location which you provided previously and selected, that was vacant at that time, and help us continue this service at this critical time in our state's history.